In the press release yesterday, it said Nelson and the Mavericks had mutually agreed to part ways. A source close to the situation told The Athletic that Nelson was fired on Sunday. He had spent 24 years working for the organization. Now, Bob Voulgaris' contract, and this seems to be where things have really started to butt heads, expires this summer. Mark Cuban told The Athletic, we won't talk about individual deals. Never do. But The Athletic then went on to say, if he continues, it would probably be in the same role that he always held, which some people believe means he usurped Donnie Nelson. And the perfect example about this is they talked with a rival team executive. So a team executive in the NBA yesterday and said, talking to the Mavericks about trade possibilities led to inevitable confusion. So Donnie Nelson would paint one picture about pieces and players, but then Voulgaris would talk to the team simultaneously about a deal that was totally different. Even for the same target, but they were like, but this is how we would set it up.
And a lot of people, because of Voulgaris's, they believe he had a direct line to Cuban.
Yes.
More so than Donnie.
Yes.
Which is weird because it sounds like this guy's going behind Donnie's back to try to make different trades. And hey, I got the guy that's that's really in charge here doing it. But my other part of this though, Kevin, is why would Mark let that happen?
Okay.
And I think the story kind of is very careful to make it seem that that's not exactly what was happening, but it was what Donnie perceived to be happening.
Okay. And Mark Cuban has a direct quote to kind of both of those aspects about he does not think it really is that odd. So I'm starting to feel more and more like when he said total BS, it's not some of the things that happen, but the perception of those things. Because he said, we have at multiple levels of the front office, multiple people have ongoing conversations. Scouts, assistant GMs, anybody and everybody, player development people, everybody has conversations with people in the organization to get info and find out what they're up to, just like they have conversations with Donnie.
Right.
And then he said, we have people top to bottom with other teams, and other teams have conversations with us. We take input, and that goes into all of the final decision making. That's no different than any other team, and no one has any more influence because it comes down to us agreeing on it or me agreeing on it. That's just how it works, and only Donnie initiated trades. That last part, no one has any more influence because it comes down to us agreeing. That seems odd.
That's very
to me.
Jerry. That is very Jerry-like, right? Hey,
or me agreeing on it.
With Jerry Jones, what does it come down to? Well, I mean, we all discussed it before. Hey, guess what? My grandson said production, so we drafted this guy.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to everybody in the room, and I'll make that final decision because we all have to agree on it. But that's the problem, though, is there's nobody else knows who the direct leadership is. That becomes problematic because just like you were saying, those ongoing conversations. Well, you got one guy that's trying to work a trade with the same team, and another guy's trying to work it. So nobody in the NBA knows who to talk to.
Yes.
Agents don't know who to talk to. Even your players at some point in the last story, start questioning whether or not the coach is the guy that they need to trust because there's some other guy, some other shadow puppet guy, the one really running the show. So that becomes very problematic because there is no leadership. There is no person that is the one to go to for these things. So Kevin, the Atlanta Hawks trade that we kept hearing about, where Maxey was kind of involved in that discussion, that could have very well been they could have been trying to make a move for John Collins and couldn't get it done. Because somebody else was getting involved in it. And Donnie was really good at coming up with being creative and trying to make trades happen. And then somebody gets in the way. That's a problem, man. And if Mark can't see that that's a problem, then we have an even bigger problem for the future of this organization.